Good morning. I'm sorry I didn't post anything on Friday and on Monday. This weekend has been, I don't want to say bad. It has been bad, as much as I don't want to say it. Mostly because of me living in my own head. Also mostly because of funny events. Nothing dramatic. No one's hurt. Everything's fine. Nothing from a personal standpoint. Nothing. It's just like that. Disclaimers. I may curse a little bit during this one. Just letting you know. Also, no ill will is meant towards anyone I used to work for and with. They all mean a lot to me in different ways. So, with that out of the road, I'm going to make some crimson. We're going to do a light roast today. I loved the way this tasted. I'm going to do another one. We're going to grind this at about a 15. I think I've decided to move away from 20 coarser grinds. I think I'm going to start doing 15s, 10s on the Encore here. I'm going to get to a point to where it doesn't do what I want it to, and then we may see about getting something new to grind with. And maybe it's a hand grinder that's really, really, really nice, or maybe a step up from this. We'll see. But I'm going to start grinding here. Well, let's get the water started first. I've got my water sitting over here. It is all ready to go. We'll get her heated up to boiling. Okay, so this weekend started on Friday, which is how weekends usually start. I got a text from my former boss. She stated that, hey, and something else that this might bring about. I don't expect to ever be asked to work there again, not due to circumstances, but because, and even if I am, I probably would be like, I don't know. I kind of jumped into this a little bit and got into my own head, and that was part of the whole experience, but this probably won't help if anybody from there sees this, and I'm fine with that. I'm super fine with that. So my former boss texted me after, and I feel really bad because I liked both of my bosses, and the boss over top of my boss, she tried to call me twice last week. And because I don't have her phone number, and I've been getting a lot of horrible recruiter calls, I've been saying no to every phone call that comes in where I don't have a caller ID. And she called me twice last week, and I feel really bad about that. But my former boss texted me, informed me that they needed me to come back. This weekend was a lot of back and forth in my own head, and I know a lot of you out there do that too. There are different extremes. One is not more important than the other. One is not. It's all about you. It's all about your experience. Your experience is yours, and no one's experience is worse or better than yours. Now, it may feel the same, and you may be able to connect on that level, but it's your experience, and your experience is your own, and don't ever let anyone tell you that their experience was more or less than yours. It is your experience. So I entertained it. Matt and I went through the motions. We said, what if we asked for this? He said, what if we asked for this? And this whole time, I'm like me. And if you know me, timid, hate confrontation, don't want to be put in this position, have never been put in this position before. And we worked something out over the weekend after a lot of me being in my own head. And my boss's boss called me. I said, hey, let's just sit down and talk. So yesterday we sat down and we talked. And it was myself, my former boss, and her boss. And it was a wonderful sit down, and it lasted about a half hour. And it was nice to talk to them again, because it's one thing that I remembered was missing our sit-down conversations because we always felt like we could be candid. We didn't feel like we had to be coworkers. If there was a problem, I could be like, this is a problem. I'm having this problem. And how can we fix it? How can we fix it? Not how can you fix it? How can we fix it? And so it was nice. And we discussed, and I gave them what it would take for me to come back. This is what I would like. And my boss called me back this morning, and I could already tell in her voice, she took it to their boss's boss, and not only did he come back lowballing me by a large amount, he then apparently said, but hey, if you rely on the bonus that you might get, it'll get you to where you think you want to be. And that really made me angry. So this morning I started out worried and ended up angry after being stressed out all day yesterday, all day Sunday, all day Saturday, all evening Friday. And the urgency was there. And I'm like, I don't know why they would come back with any other number than what I gave them. I felt it was reasonable. They really wanted me to come back. I don't want to use the word desperate, but kind of felt that way. And he lowballed me. He put me basically back where I was, and then tried to tell me that the bonus that is not guaranteed, not only not guaranteed to be gotten, but also if it is gotten, it may not be at the percentage that you feel that that you are supposed to get if it's 100%. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, that bonus isn't guaranteed. It's not. There have been years where they haven't gotten it. There have been years where it has been significantly less than projected. I'm like, so I come back, I get the tiniest amount of raise, though you are urgent to get it refilled, and then you are going to, and then you're going to have me rely on a bonus. What did I do with my scale? There's my scale. I bought tire and wheel cleaner for my summer wheels. I'm going to sit down and do that at some point to take care of that. And I'm shaking right now because I don't know. I don't know. I'm just aggravated. I really am. I mean, I don't know how a business person can come back with that and think that it's viable. The whole idea that people should be living off of bonuses, the whole idea that bonuses aren't and extra. Here's your salary. Oh, look, we have some extra. This is yours. Here you go. Good job. It's a good job thing. It's not something someone should be banking for. It's not someone should be relying on. It's not something someone should be hoping that they get in order to continue on, if that makes any sense. And it should make sense. That's just basic, you know? We shouldn't have to rely on such things. I'm going to do, switching gears here just for a second, and I got to figure out how to pour this thing without, oh, we can do it this way. Hey, look at that. Okay, I'm going to do 30 grams. Let's do 35 grams of coffee. Yeah, it's 37. We can pour some beans out for the homos. Here we go. All right. 34, and then we're going to grind this up. I feel the same way about tips. People shouldn't rely on tips. They're already relying on one asshole to pay them correctly. Why do they have to go through the entire day hoping that a bunch of assholes give them the money they need in order to live? It has nothing to do with fairness. It has to do with what's right for people. People need to live. And it's just not right to force them to rely on something that should be extra. Here is what you get. This is what you get solid. This is what you get completely. Oh, look, here's some extra. Go on a vacation. Here's the money you can live on. Here's some extra. Go buy a nicer phone. Go buy a nicer camera. Go buy 3 steaks instead of just hamburger. This is extra. This is what we live on. This is extra. That is what this structure should be. It should not be tips included. A tip is not a salary. If you have to rely on more than one asshole to live, that is not correct. And I rarely say what is and is not correct. Most of the time it's up for interpretation. Most of the time it's up to your own personal preference. We're not dealing with personal preference here. We're dealing with people. We're dealing with people and people's lives. And their needs, and people in this country should not have to ration. And I said there was going to be a rant, and this is it. And they really set me off this morning. And it's not. And I didn't yell at my boss. I didn't yell at her or my former boss when she called. I thanked her profusely. I did, and I meant it, and I sincerely meant it. And I do mean when I say that those people meant a lot to me, and I cared very much for them. But to come back and not only lowballing me, but telling me that in order to get to where I wanted to be, I could try to rely on a bonus that is not guaranteed. For years, I have been against using bonuses as income. Bonuses are not income. This is what you live on. This is something extra. We did well. Here, share in our good fortune. That has nothing to do with rights. It should just be human. And that's reality. That's not, and I don't care where you work. You should work at a place that pays you a basic human wage that allows you to have shelter, to have electricity, to have a phone, to have food, to have medicine, to exist without feeling like it's something that you deserve. It's something that's owed to you. It's something that it shouldn't be a matter of deserving or owing. It just should exist. That is a state. That is a state that we can live in. It just is. It has nothing to do with a piece of paper saying you have the right to. It just should. Bare minimum. It just should. I should not have to have a piece of paper telling me that I should give you something. I should just be giving you something. I should be making sure you are okay. That is the bare minimum. You are okay. And that's the point of these morning coffee sessions. Is for years I have made sure everyone is okay. For years. And I'm fine with that. I want that to be that way. But you get to a point where you have to start questioning if you're okay. And you have enough people reaching out to you asking you, are you all right? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And you don't think about it twice because you've never really thought about it, because it's like, I mean, who cares if I'm okay? Are you doing all right? Do you have everything you need? What can I do to help you? And and that's why I fit in a customer service role for 20 years, you know. I really didn't think about myself that much. Emotionally, physically, you know. I just went with the flow. Whatever happened, happened. You know, what do you need done? And then, I mean, this isn't a revelation that's just happened over the past 3 days. This is something that I've had for years. It's just I've never been in a position to where I could express that emotion in a way that benefited me. And the idea that people have to rely on others' charity in order to exist is just horrifying. And I won't say that I just went through an example of that, because I didn't. I mean, this was just, you know, this was just talk back and forth, you know. Whereas if I'd have said yes, I'd have had a job again, it's all dependent on what they could do for me. And they were not willing, they as in the company, not my immediate supervisors, past tense, the company was willing to put forth. And I am worth more than that. And I can't rely on a bonus. It's so ingrained in upper management culture that you know, well, a bonus should be good enough for them. Why isn't a bonus good enough for them? Because they don't seem to remember that bonus is not guaranteed. It's just like a tip. A tip is not guaranteed. A group of 20 people can come in and just leave after paying the bill and not leave a tip. And now people have to clean this table. Now you can say that that's what they are being paid for, is to come in and clean up this table, but they're not being paid the amount they should be paid to clean up after you. And that's reality. That's not a basic human right. That's reality. They're not being paid enough to clean up after you. They're being paid, what, $7 an hour? And it's part-time? That's not good. Nothing good about that. That's ridiculous. And now I'm into politics. It's ridiculous. Look what this has done to me. It does make me feel better, though. All right, let's get this coffee going. That was a build-up, wasn't it? Goodness gracious, what is wrong with me? I'm going to wet this paper down. Warm up the Chemex a little bit here. And now what you've all been waiting for, the coffee portion. All right, on. I'll put that on there. That's 588 grams of everything there. Let's add the coffee. I hate the retention really bothers me. Ooh, we got some clumpage. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe that was a little too fine for a light roast. Oh, that smells really good though. All right, we're up to 621 ounces. I'll tell you how that's going to go. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to have ourselves a nice bloom phase. I'm going to try to do about a 4-minute pour over. So we're going to start with the bloom phase. Get her bloomed up here. And put in about 60 grams of, 70 grams. I just want to make sure everything gets wet. Okay, I'll do 77 grams. I'm all over the place, aren't I? Feels better to say it out loud, though. I mean, you know, and again, such things, because we have social media, because we have people looking at other things online, I mean, saying this stuff out loud could potentially make me incredibly undesirable for other employers. Because I have thoughts and feelings, you know. Okay. I said 500 grams of water. Keep it in a circular motion just so we can keep the bed nice and even. We're going to go up to 300. All right, 299. All right. Let that go for about 30 seconds. I mean, just, it's one thing if they came back and they said, you know what, we can't do but 45. You know, and I'd have been like, okay, well, I mean, everything was very urgent. Everything was very in earnest. Everything needed to be done quickly. I gave you, you know, what I was looking for in order to continue. There you go. A little bit more than what I had expected, but whatever. Spoonage. And you know, my job was very by myself. You know, I was, you know, I didn't need oversight. I didn't need someone to micromanage me, and that made what I did desirable because, all right, right, lady? You tell him. You tell him. You tell him what you think. Yes, you tell him what you think. It's just, and like I said, you know, somebody sees this rant, they could find me undesirable, and I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, you know, and plus, you know, cat's out of the bag. You know, I got offered my job back, and I said no, thank you. After they showed me what, you know, they, as in the company, showed me what they felt I was worth, and I think I'm worth more than that. And it's weird for me to say that. That's not how I operate. That's not what I do. That's not how I say things. You know, I don't know what my worth is, generally. But you know, I know that I did my job well enough for them to call me back after they laid me off. But that's a good flat bed. I'm very proud of that bed. Look at that. Look how flat that is. Drained out completely. Looking really solid. Not too many solids up around the rim. Look, lady, I just got my coffee the perfect color. And it's the only thing I've got going for me today, so. Where's that from? It's your Schwarzenegger Belushi movie. Not John Belushi, but James Belushi? Red Heat. One of those wonderfully horrible 80s action movies that have not aged well, but to be honest, I still want to go see it. I want to watch it again because, I don't know, there's just something about their interaction. Hang on. You know what? We're going to let this cool down. We're going to do this first. Come over here. Hey, come here. Come here, you. Come here, you. This lady. What are you doing? Huh? Want to tell everybody what you think? Tell them what you think. No, not you. Indy. Not you. Yeah, there she goes. Like, he's stealing my thunder. And it makes me unhappy as a person. Right? You're not going to bother. Yeah. I wouldn't bother either. You're not being paid enough for it. Nice light roast color. That's really pretty. What a snowy day. I did not expect this. Last night there were so many snow squalls during the daylight hours. The longer daylight hours. Which, as much... I guess I really shouldn't complain about it right now. Well, you know what? I will, because the cats get me up. The cats don't do daylight savings time. They do whenever they damn well please, and they have a set schedule. And this represents today. Oh, I got that grind right though. Every day I'm discovering different complexity with coffee. What a fun hobby. I'm really glad that I got through this. I'm really glad that I got through it. Phew. Nightmarish couple of days. But I'm glad it's over. I don't recommend this for anyone. But not everybody's me, and people handle situations better than I do. But it wasn't fun. So hey, coffee. Again, the only thing I can really do is tell you that if you go to a place that's a coffee house and you see on their wall that they have their own coffee, 9 times out of 10, I would say 10 times out of 10, especially if they're a good place, you can buy their coffee and they will grind it for you. You just tell them how you want it. Do you want it for filter coffee? Do you want something for an espresso? Not most of the time you'll want a filter coffee, and then that kind of coffee can go into your drip coffee maker, or you can use it in a pour over, or you can use it in a French press, or an AeroPress. You can use that coffee, but it's fresh and it's ground for you, and it's what makes it really nice is that you kind of feel good that it's traceable coffee. I should take a picture. If the kiosk is still there, I should take a picture of that one coffee brand that's got one that's been roasted in 2021 that I should buy and look at and just have a laugh about. Maybe today I will do that. Maybe today I will go get and try to find that one ground in 2021, I think it was August of 2021. It's just it's burned into my head because I'm like, how can you be this kind of a company and not come back and check your kiosks and refresh your stuff and make sure everything is at peak freshness? Because if they're fresh roasting a coffee and they're putting it out there, it should not set on a shelf for longer than, say, 6 months maximum. My personal opinion, if you want fresh tasting coffee, my personal opinion, 6 months probably the limit. It's thrown out all of its gas, it's lost all of its freshness, the flavor will be a little stale, a little bitter. Any acidity or sweetness that may have been there is gone. But that's just my opinion again. So, this is really good stuff. It tastes sweet. You don't need sugar for me. It tastes sweet. You get that nice chocolate chip taste. Yeah, this is really nice. So after about 30 minutes, oh my God, what a rant. I stand by everything I said. And you're not going to convince me otherwise. People should not, managers should not expect their employees to live off of something that is not guaranteed within their job. They shouldn't. That makes no sense. From an employee standpoint, that makes no sense. None. But we have to, because that is how it currently is structured, and it needs to change. Rant over. Coffee full. Better feel. Hey, thanks for tuning in for this extra long one. It was a hell of a weekend, and maybe this will make up for no Friday and no Monday. I don't know. We'll see. God, 40 minutes. I'm editing this shit down. Holy cow. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and if I get a chance today, I'm going to go down to that Fresh Time Market. I'm going to try to find that 2021 coffee, and we're going to I hate to embarrass people. It's not like, you are important. You people are important. The folks that watch my stuff is important. I'm grateful to you, whether you subscribe, whether you don't subscribe, whether you happen in, whether you stumble in, whether you fall in, whether you whatever. I am grateful for you, but I do not have a large base. And, the idea that someone I know from work who would report back from my old work, who would report back is very slim. And, you know, the idea that if I bring this coffee and show it to you and grind it and taste it, that the people that own that coffee roasting company would, you know, be like, seeing this at any point is very minimal. So, but again, like I said, you know, the folks that watch this, I am so appreciative of you. It's little, but you know what's really great? The videos I've been putting up, people have been watching them. My first two toy dusting videos that I put up, each one have over 90 views. The Alf video I put up has nearly 250 views. I mean, that's huge. That excites me. That's wonderful. That makes me feel so good. That makes me feel so happy that people are coming and they're watching and they're seeing and then they're moving on. I mean, and that's YouTube. I mean, the retention is very low. It's just, most of the time, it's just people wandering in and seeing things. And that's great. I think that's wonderful. It's what I do, you know. Somebody really has to grab me in some way in order for me to subscribe to them and watch them every day. Or every time they put out a video. So, you know, I'm very grateful to all of you that subscribe and watch. And I'm grateful to the people that stop by and watch. That's why I never say, hey, like and subscribe. You know, it would be nice. But in order to reach monetization level of anything on YouTube, the goalposts have shifted so far. It's unattainable at this point. So, I mean, it's potentially unattainable. I'm not banking on it. Let's just say that out loud. All right. Hey, we're done. We're done. That's game. 3 points to red, 12 points to blue. Congratulations. Y'all played a great game. And I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.